Alright, so here we have a golf driver, and for the first part we are supposed to grip it at the upper extremity, should be here, and I'm going to move it horizontally back and forth. And then I'm supposed to grip it at the opposite end, closer to the head, and do the same. So for rotary inertia, when you're at the upper extremity, there's an increase just because most of the mass of the golf driver is at the head of the club. So the mass is farther away from your body. And then when you hold it at the opposite end, there's a reduction in rotary inertia, but it is easier to move. It's easier to move relative to the axis that your body provides, and simply because the mass is closer to you. So for me, you can see I'm not that strong. So it's easier when the mass is closer to my body. And then the same, then the same we do for a baseball bat. So same thing, this is actually pretty heavy, so I don't even know if I can do this, but the upper extremity, it's a lot harder to move, but the rotary inertia is increased. Rather than holding it at the barrel end, it's a lot easier for me to move, but there is a reduction in the rotary inertia because the mass is closer to my body. And then we are to write a large figure 8 in the air as fast as possible with both ends. It's very difficult, but it's a lot easier when I'm at the striking end. So the same thing is going to go for the driver. It's harder to write the figure 8 when I'm at the upper extremity end rather than at the striking end, simply because of the distribution of the mass. For difficulty level, the bat's definitely harder just because it's heavier, but difficulty level is going to depend on the length of the object, the mass of the object, and then the distribution of the mass as well. And that's it. So first I'm supposed to swing this bucket of water back and forth. And now I have to swing it in a circular path. Ew. So basically my shoulder is providing the center of access for the bucket, and my arm and the bucket are providing like a centripetal force so that the water stays in a circular path. And then the water is staying in the bucket because it wants to go in a straight line following Newton's first law of inertia.